Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to look at treasury bills and government bonds. If you want to learn more about treasury bills and government bonds, you are in the right place. Every Tuesdays at 20-30 hours inside my WhatsApp channel, I do trainings, free trainings on treasury bills and government bonds. Today we are going to look at 5 things to consider before you invest in a government bond. We know that bonds are sold once in a month. Therefore, this month end, we are expecting bonds to be on sale. When you want to buy tomatoes or onions, you just go to the market at any time and you will be able to get yourself some tomatoes and some onions. However, when it comes to government bonds, you can only buy bonds once in a month. With that thought, it means that you need to really think through before you buy a bond, because you are going to make just one purchasing decision every month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 things that you should consider before you buy a bond. And then for those who are in my mentorship WhatsApp group, I'm also going to give you a checklist, something that you can just tick. If you are new here, my name is John Chipeta. I am a T-bills and bonds educator. Let us begin with an introduction. First of all, we know that most people rush to buy bonds. They just hear that bonds are paying 22%, 20%. They just jump in blindly and then later they get confused. We have this cooperative where we put monies together and then we buy bonds as a group. One of the members was shocked. She had put in a 1,000 and then after 6 months, she got a 72 kwacha. She was so much disappointed with the return. That is why it is very, very important to make sure that you go through the checklist and also just consider these 5 things so that you don't get confused later. So before you buy a bond, ask yourself 5 smart questions. This bonds checklist represents these letters: B, O, N, D, and S. So these are the letters that are going to help us as we do this checklist. B stands for basic knowledge. Before you buy a bond, you just need to have some basic knowledge. Knowledge removes fear and confusion. When you've got the knowledge, you are going to invest with confidence. And where do you get this knowledge? Of course, you are going to get this knowledge from the internet. You can go on YouTube, you can go on TikTok, you can go on Facebook, you can enroll in free mentorship programs, or you can enroll in paid up mentorship programs. Now, I'm not saying become a master in treasury bills and government bonds at this point. I'm just saying just get basic knowledge. You want to invest in what you understand, isn't it? So you want to know what treasury bills are. You want to know what bonds are. You want to know how interest is paid on a treasury bill and how interest is paid on a government bond. You also want to know roughly how much money you can make when you invest a 1,000, a 5,000, a 10,000, a 100,000. You want to have those scenarios in mind. And most importantly, you want to know the 7 risks. Most of the people that come on board, they usually just ask about the returns. How much money am I going to make? They just want to know the interest. But nobody talks about the risks. When I was doing a training at Total Energies, I loved the question that the CFO asked me. She said, "You have sold this concept of bonds to us very well. Now, tell us the risks." That is the mindset I would like you to have. Don't just focus on interest, but also look at the risks. So if you would want me to talk about risks in later episodes, you can just comment risk in the comments below. And then if you want me to just define what treasury bills are, what bonds are, if you want me to get to the basics, just comment basic in the comments below, then I'll be able to do that video for you. Or is obtain counsel. Experience is the best teacher, but it doesn't have to be yours. There is always somebody who is ahead of you, somebody who has done this thing for many years. They've probably invested more than you. So what you want to do is to talk to somebody who has already invested. Just get counsel. In Proverbs 15 verse 22, the Bible says, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. When you are getting counsel, it doesn't mean that you are going to do everything that you are going to be advised. You are just getting counsel. You want to make informed decisions. So you can ask your mentor, you can read from the books, you can consult those that have gone ahead of you, and just get some information. Say, I have 100,000 I want to invest. How can I invest? You can say, my salary is 10,000. How do you think I should be investing this money when it comes to bonds? You can say, my salary is only 3,000. How do you think I can profit from bonds with this amount of money? So when you ask those good questions, you are going to be given answers. Then those answers, you can now look at those answers, then come up with your own decision, come up with your own judgment. You say, okay, based on the information that I got, I can now make this decision. Don't think that you know it all. Like this man here is being shown where the star is. The star is there. He is getting counsel. In a similar way, talk to someone. Don't talk to any Jim and Jack, but somebody who has already invested. So you want to listen to somebody who's actually doing this and not just somebody who's just talking about this. How much can you make if you got your money and put it in a bond? So we are going to do this thing manually. You are investing because you want to make money. So the thing is, how much money can you make if you invested in a government bond? So I'm going to walk you through that today, and I want to be very patient with you so that you can understand the calculations. So we are going to do this manually so that even when you use the tools like the Treasury Bills calculator or the government bonds calculator or the calculator, you will know exactly the calculations that are happening. So let's begin. Let's say you have a 10,000 and you want to buy a bond for 10 years and the current interest is 20%. How much money can you make? So for you to do these calculations, you just need just a calculator. So get a calculator or just go on your phone and have this tool. It is going to help you to do these calculations. They are very simple, I can promise you. Before you do the calculations, you need to know your face value, that is the amount that you want to invest. Then you also want to know the tenure, how long you are going to invest, and also the interest rate, which is the coupon rate. Every person will have different calculations because we all have different face value amounts. We are investing in different tenures, and then each tenure has a different interest rate. So the next thing that you want to do is to calculate the gross. So how did we come up with this 2,000? That is the gross interest. So you are going to get this 20% there. You are going to say 20 over 100, and then you are going to multiply this. You are going to multiply with a 10,000. So when you do this, you are going to get a 2,000. This is your annual interest gross. So it is gross because we've not removed the withholding tax, and also we've not removed the Bank of Zambia handling fees. So we know that the withholding tax is 20%, we know it, and then we know that the Bank of Zambia handling fees is 1%. So the same way we did this calculation here on top, that is how we are going to do this. But then we are going to only charge the interest only, because the principal is not charged, just the the coupon or the interest itself. So you're going to say 20 over 100 times 2,000, then you get the 400, that is the tax. 1 over 100 times 2,000, you are going to get your 20 kwacha. So in short, the total cost for this investment will be 400 plus 20, which is a 420. So for you to get your net, this is what is going to go in your bank. You now get your 2,000, then you remove the withholding tax, the 400 and the 20 kwacha, the Bank of Zambia handling fee, then you have your 1.5. The way bonds work, you're not going to be given this 1.5 at once. It will be given in 2 installments every 6 months. So what you do is you just divide 1.5 80 divided by 2. So this is the amount of money that you'll be getting every 6 months for 10 years when you invest a 10,000 kwacha. So if you want to learn more practical things about treasury bills and government bonds, follow my WhatsApp channel. You might be missing out on something. And also I post every week on my TikTok account and also on my YouTube account. So make sure that you are following me on those social media platforms so that you can benefit from this free information. So if you loved this video, please react to this post, share it, or drop a comment. So before you invest, you need to know the type of cash flow that you have. So ask yourself, do I have a lump sum or I have got consistent income? Ask yourself, am I getting a gratuity or a pension, or do I have a lump sum, like a lot of money at once? Or maybe you don't have that kind of money, you are just using your salary or money from a business to invest. How is your cash flow like? If you are a retiree, you might be investing a 200,000 at once. How do you invest that? If you are an employee, maybe your salary is 7,000 or 10,000, you might want to start small. Maybe you'll be investing a 1,000 and a 2,000 every month. It doesn't matter. But the key thing I want to emphasize is that your cash flow determines your bond strategy. The S stands for your stage in life. Your age determines your focus. How old are you right now? Each stage has got its own strategy. If you are a 25-year-old lady or man, you will have a different strategy from a 45-year-old man or from a 60-year-old man. So the question I have is, are you 25 years old? Are you 45? Are you 60? Or maybe are you 30 years? Your age will determine what you are going to focus on. And then, like I said, each stage has its own strategy. For each category, there are a number of factors that you need to focus on. And these are some of the things that I talk about inside my mentorship WhatsApp group. Because if I started mentioning all the things to think about as a 25-year-old, as a 45-year-old, as a 60-year-old, this video might be very, very long. The purpose of this presentation is just to help you focus on the key things that you need to look at before you invest in bonds. So we've come to the end of our presentation. So what we are saying is, don't buy bonds just because others are doing it, but buy bonds with clarity and purpose. And I'm here to help you. If you're watching this on TikTok, make sure that you click on the plus button so that you don't miss another interesting video. I post videos every week. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. And then in the comments below, let me know that you enjoyed this video, and then I'll be able to help you. Then if you've got any questions, as always, ask in the comments. I might do a video in response to that question. So in summary, what we are saying is, before you invest, use the bonds checklist. Use my bonds checklist. So the first thing you want to see is Do you have basic knowledge? Have you obtained counsel? Have you done the maths? You can do the maths manually the way I was doing it, or you can use tools. I'm going to show you the tools later that you can use to do your calculations. And then ask yourself, do I have a lump sum, or maybe I'm depending on money that comes in on a monthly basis? Then also very important is your stage in life. How old are you? So for those who are in my mentorship WhatsApp group, I'm going to give you 10 things, a checklist. I'll give you a checklist where I'm going to put 10 things and then you just tick to see what works for you. So if you want to learn more, if you enjoyed this presentation and you want to learn more, what you do is join my free Treasury Bills in Government Bonds Masterclass that I do every Tuesdays at 20:30 on my WhatsApp channel. Then if you have got a budget, you can join my Treasury Bills and Government Bonds Mentorship group. So get in touch with me. That's my WhatsApp number. Just send me a message on WhatsApp and I'll be able to respond. If you are outside Zambia, just add +26. All right, then you'll be able to get through to me.